Alright guys, Nevin here again. In this video I'm going to show you how to use our Holiday Light Visualizer tool. So essentially going to upload a photo of your property, draw sort of where you want your lights to be, choose your colors, add garland or bows if you'd like, and then visualize what it looks like. So let's just dive into it. I'm going to show a few different examples here of different properties. I just grabbed a few images off of Zillow, so I want to try a few different house styles and just kind of show you how it would work. So here I went ahead and added this picture of this house here. This one should be very simple and easy. So let's just say we'll go with C9 lights, and then let's just say, I don't know, red and white just as a test. And let's just draw some lights right here. Okay, and then that's the end of the image right there. And then we'll put a little bit right here. And then let's try to throw a little bit of garland around the garage doors, just for fun. And then we'll throw some lights around the windows here, so you can select windows, doors. There's no pillars. I'll leave paths off for this one, but I'll try that. And I also want to turn it on nighttime mode so that when we visualize it, it'll be in nighttime mode. So I believe I did select windows and doors. So let's go ahead and put some lights around the windows, around the door. Okay. All right. So now we got that. Now we'll go ahead and click visualize and estimate. And now what it's going to do is it's going to show us a visualization. And this can usually it takes about 30 seconds, but it's going to create a visualization. And then it's also going to create an estimated amount of lights, estimated length of lights in garland that you use. Now, of course, this estimate's not 100% accurate. It's kind of just going based on sort of common sense logic. It's not actually measuring the light. So just keep that in mind. But okay, cool. So here we have an example. Now it went ahead and took the liberty of lighting the star, which I guess is kind of cool. You can see it's red and white. Now, and you can see the garland around the garage door. Now, it's not 100% perfect. It's not 100%, but it's good enough, right? I mean, it gives you a general idea. So now, let's say maybe we want to play around with this a little bit more. Maybe we want to turn some lighting on the bushes, and then let's also turn on pathway lighting. And then let's try to just add some lights along the driveway. And let's see how that looks. So we'll visualize it again, give it another try. Again, just give it about 30 seconds or so. And after this image, I want to show you a few other houses, just kind of demo it. And we also have this exclusion option. So you saw in the previous demo, it added lights to the top. Maybe you don't want that in the demo, so you could just add the exclusion line right there. Again, this is the AI tool, so it's not, you guys know AI is not 100% perfect yet. It's getting there. It's getting better every day, but it's still okay. Perfect. So now you can see I turned on the roadway lighting, so now I added the lighting here. It took the liberty of adding a few bows, which I didn't add that, but still looks decent. And you can see it lit up the bushes as well. All right, so now the top doesn't have it. So now let's just, again, it's not 100% perfect, but it just gives you a decent look as to how it will look like once you set it up. So now let's go ahead and let's see here. I should be able to clear all, or let's go ahead and refresh this page. Oh, and yeah, here you can see the string length that's saying it's about 275 feet and then about 44 feet of garland. And then it gives its logic as to how it came up with that number. So yeah, there's that. Now let's go ahead and, like I said, refresh this page, and then I want to just try this with another image. So let's go ahead and open this back up again. Give it a second. Go ahead and click on Visualizer. Okay, now I want to use just a little bit slightly more complex house style. So just to test it out here. So let's go ahead and choose this old house here. All right, so this one, instead of doing red and white, let's just try, I don't know, let's try multicolor. Okay, now I'll just run some lights along this front gutter line. Maybe we want to run some along the top up here. Now in this case, I'll leave the windows off for right now. But let's go ahead and say around the pillars. So we'll select pillars. Of course, we want to turn nighttime mode on. I'll leave the paths off. And then let's just add some lighting to each of these pillars as well. Okay. Now let's go ahead and visualize and estimate. And again, I can't stress this enough. It's not going to be exactly perfect like it's an AI tool. Hopefully, it'll keep improving and get better and better over time. Um, that's my belief that it will. But like I said, it's still going to give you a good enough a good enough, you know, image that you can sort of work with and get a good image in your mind. So, um, again, when you're doing it, I always recommend turning on night mode because night mode is, it gives you a better idea as to how the lights are going to look at nighttime. They don't necessarily stand out as well during the daytime. All right. Okay, so you can see here it went ahead and added some lights right here. So again, if you really wanted to exclude that, you could just go with this exclusion right here and draw it right on there and then prevent it from showing up right there if it really bothers you. It also took the liberty of adding some garland right here. So like I said, it's not 100% perfect, but it's not terrible. I think it's actually pretty decent. And again, so let's just make another edit. Let's see how it would look if we added some lights, or let's go ahead and leave that off so that it doesn't show. And then I'll add a wreath up here to the side as well. So let me just go ahead and add a wreath, and we'll just throw that right there, something. And then let's go ahead and also throw some lights around the windows. So I'll just light these up right here. Oops. All right. Cool. So now let's give that a try. Visualize and estimate. Yeah, dang, I forgot to toggle on windows. Oh well, we'll see if it works. And this is just one of those things you can play around with it a bunch too. So like if it doesn't spit it out perfect the first time, you could just try it a few more times, and it looks like I accidentally put another one here. Oh well, no big deal, I guess. So like I said, you could just keep testing it out and try different variations. And like I said, if it doesn't do it perfect the first time, if you have some time on your hands and you want to play around with it, you could just do it again and try it out again. So I'll do this, and then I'll do one more after this one. Okay, so you can see I kind of messed up. I accidentally added that other one there. But you can see I added the lights to the windows and to the front. Um, the windows to the top, the multicolor, and it still has the lighting and garland around the poles. Now, it's still showing right here, so I'm not 100% sure why that is. So I'll have to look into that. But yeah, you can see it's giving us the estimated length of lights and then the estimated length of the garland. So let's go ahead and try this one more time. I'll go ahead and refresh it. I'll choose another image, and then yeah, I think that should be about enough of a tutorial for you guys. So, and if you want to play around with this yourself, you can just come to this. I'll leave a link to this. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, you can link it. You can use our price calculator tool and our visualizer and just play around with it if you'd like. So I'll just go ahead and select this house now. This image, hopefully this one works. It's kind of blurry, so here, let's go ahead and draw up here, up here. Let's go ahead and draw right here, and then let's go ahead and throw let's throw a wreath up here where that window's at. And then let's also put some lights down these pillars here and along this gutter line and along this little fencing right here. And then we'll just want to toggle on the fencing, the pillars, night mode. Let's turn on for the bushes. And yeah, let's give that a try. That should look pretty good. Yeah, maybe let's try. Maybe you want to go all out and put some up along this roof line as well. Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and visualize and see how it looks. Now I didn't put it around the image, or the windows, or the garage door. In fact, I should have put some garland. I always like putting garland around the garage doors. I think that looks nice, and especially if you have a wreath, I think it kind of goes well with the wreath. Again, we'll give it a few minutes here. And you can also choose your lighting style, C7, C9s, minis, or icicle style lighting. Maybe I'll do one more demo after this, just doing the icicle lighting. Okay. So I didn't add it to the top, but again, that's one of those things you kind of just have to play around with a little bit. And this image was a little bit blurry, so maybe that was part of the reason why it didn't take as well. But yeah, this one I would probably just redo this as well. I'm not a huge fan of how that turned out, but yeah, that's pretty much kind of a brief overview as to how to use it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks. Have a great day.